Hello and welcome to this tutorial. If you're an agency owner wondering how many clients you need to quit your 9 to 5, get that bigger house, dream car, or take care of someone who deserves it, look no further than this video. This spreadsheet enables you to work out how many clients you need, the prices you need to charge, and the outreach you need to do in order to live your aspirational lifestyle. I decided to create this agency projection spreadsheet or digital agency planner so you new agency owners don't waste time procrastinating like I did running the numbers, but instead can get straight into outreach and get those clients signed. Without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so you should have received this PDF document containing the download link for the digital agency planner. If you haven't received it and you have paid for it, then feel free to send me a message on Etsy or send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't purchased it yet, you can get your copy in the description of this video, or you can find the link to my Etsy page in the description or in the comment section. Okay, so now you've got this page, all you have to do is click the download button. And then that takes you to the instruction page for the spreadsheet. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to sign in. So I'm just going to sign in here. Okay, you're in. You might not need to do that step, but once you're signed in, then you need to choose the spreadsheet that you're after. So the spreadsheet comes in 3 currency formats: USD, Euro, and GBP. And with the currency formats, you also get to choose whether you want a more flexible approach to how you spend your money, or you can choose to abide by the principles in the New York Times bestseller, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Now, the main difference between the two spreadsheets is that in the 50% spreadsheets, you're allocating 50% of your income to necessities, and the rest of the parts will be explained in the spreadsheet. So I'm going to choose the USD 50 for now. Great, once I've chosen that, it will show up here which spreadsheet you're on. Then you go to File, make a copy, then you click that button. And close these tabs. Now you have a copy on your own drive, which you can now edit. Okay, so you just click the bottom here, and that takes you to the spreadsheet. As a general rule, you want to edit the cells in yellow and then leave the rest alone. If you want to edit the headings, then if you edit the aspirational headings for your expenses, that automatically updates the current expenses. Just to give an overall overview of the spreadsheet, here you have your current monthly expenses. So this is what you're currently spending. And then here is where you put your aspirational expenditures. So if you want to move to a new house, move out, new car, you want to help someone financially, or you want to basically improve your lifestyle, then you put the more expensive lifestyle here. Here is where you have the agency revenue figures. So you choose your prices for your product and the number of clients you would have at each price point. This gives you an average price, this gives you a gross revenue, and then you have the deductions such as the processing fee from Stripe, the refund rate, and it calculates your net profit and then your taxes and then your take-home pay. Here's where you put all your business costs, so the software, if you have to hire anyone, and then at the bottom here, the most important part is the outreach requirement. So that basically allows you to predict or work out how much outreach you need to do consistently in order to hit your goals. So let's zoom in here. I'm just going to fill this out and then I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so I've filled out some information for my current and my aspirational expenditure. These are just some made up numbers. They're not my real figures, but I've used them for the purposes of this demonstration. Okay, so the next thing is to fill out the business monthly expenditure. So you'll find this on the right hand side of the spreadsheet. A lot of these numbers are already pre-filled, but it's best practice just to double check them and to make sure they're accurate for your particular agency. Now, the way this spreadsheet works is that for contractors, if you use them, the price is calculated as a percentage of the average price that you charge your clients. However, for simplicity, it's best practice just to override this, and then you'll be paying your contractors a flat fee for each individual client that they serve. Okay. Now, as a new agency owner, if you're not 100% confident in charging a full retainer price, one way to secure those first few clients is to offer a discounted price as a paid trial. Now, let's run the number on this. So let's say we offer a paid trial and our price is $500. So we've got the revenue of $500, strap fees, and then anticipated refund rate. So if you're offering a money back guarantee, you might have to give out some refunds. And then the net profit, so we've got this value, subtract this value, and you get this value. So we're in the red here. Let's see what happens if we add another client. A bit better, but we're still in the red. So this suggests that the price point is a bit too low for our current costs. So let's drop this down to 1 and increase this to $850. Okay, still in the red, but a bit better. Let's see what happens if we acquire one more client on this paid trial. We're in the profit. So within seconds, we've calculated that with the current expenditure, if we get 2 clients on the paid trial at $850, this business will be able to function by itself. Okay, now the business has turned a profit, but how much money or how many clients do you need to generate or do you need to acquire before you can leave your 9 to 5 and cover your current monthly expenditure? Okay, so let's just say we've got 4 clients on the trial, 4 clients at a price of $1,500, and let's say we've got 2 clients at $2,000. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this spreadsheet automatically takes your take-home pay and allocates it into the different pots. So 50% is allocated for your necessities, and then the rest of the 50% is split between a financial freedom account, long-term savings, education, giving, and the play account. The play account is basically an account where you can basically spend cash, blow the cash on some luxuries to help provide balance. I mean, you're meant to feel like a millionaire when you spend this money. It's just to provide balance, because if you just save, more than likely you'll end up spending and it could just wreck the whole thing. So this just provides balance. And the financial freedom account is money that you invest into passive income that you never spend. The idea is to grow the nest egg, and then you can live off these passive investments. Okay, so the necessities that I put in this spreadsheet came to just under $3,000. So we're going to have to earn $6,000 just to cover our necessities. And the reason why you'd want to use this way of spending is because it allows you to continually and consistently be investing at least $500 in this scenario into passive income. You got another $500 a month in your long-term savings. You got another $500 going towards improving yourself. Obviously, it's good to give back, and it's good to enjoy your life as well. So it provides a balance overall. And if your current income or take-home pay isn't enough that you're not earning enough to spend only 50% on your necessities, then the advice is either you have to increase your income or decrease your necessities. So that's just some advice for you as we go along the journey together. Hopefully we can make it. But just so you're aware, if you're not 100% bought into this strategy, you can choose one of the flexible plans. So if you click here, that's from when I did this earlier. File, make a copy. Here you have the same spreadsheet, but it allows you to choose your own values for your investments, for your savings, those sort of things. So it's just a more flexible approach to this method. Okay, back to the spreadsheet. Okay. So if you scroll down, we see that we're down $281. So let's say we need to sign another client, and that balances out. Cool. Now, how many clients do we need to live our aspirational lifestyle? So the aspirational lifestyle I put in this document is that we're spending $4,650 per month. So we need to be earning a roughly $10,000 take-home pay per month. And then we just play around with the numbers. Say that goes to 5. Go 6 here. 6 here. Okay, so to live our aspirational lifestyle, we'd need 16 clients, 4 on a pay trail, 4 at 1,500, 6 at 1,500, and 6 at 2,000, and that covers the leftover balance. So that is basically the expenditure covered. Let me just show you one thing here. At the bottom of the spreadsheet, you can add your other income. So you had income from another source, you can just put that in here and that adds to the total income. But let's say you added 176 here. The leftover balance is negative 175, but when you add this, it doesn't clear the balance. It's not an error. The reason is because the leftover balance comes from the discrepancy between your 50% of your take-home pay and your spending on necessities. So when you get the additional income of 176, although it's enough in theory to cover the amount, because you're spending more on the financial freedom account, long-term savings, education, giving, and the play account, you no longer have that money to allocate to necessities. Obviously, if you're in a pinch and you say, oh, you don't want to blow so and so this month, and you override it, you've got the money. But that's just one thing to note. Okay, so I think it was 5 and it was 2. So this is how many clients we needed in order to cover our current expenditure and leave our 9 to 5. So how much outreach do we need to do in order to achieve this? So we go down to the outreach requirements. So we needed 11 clients. Let me just check. Yeah, 11 clients. And this is where you put the number of calls or DMs required in order to get one meeting. So let's say that's about 40. You need to do 40 calls to get one meeting. Hopefully it'll be lower than that, but it's better to overestimate the effort required so you do more work and you're more likely to get the number of clients you desire. Meeting close rate. Let's say we close 10% of meetings. Obviously, you'd aim for higher, but it's better to choose a lower number. So that says we're going to need to do 4,400 DMs, emails, calls in order to reach that. Now, what time period do you want to achieve this? Let's say you want to achieve that in, say, 3.5 months, a random number. Then, outreaching on Monday to Friday during the week, we need to do at least 63 DMs per day. If you wanted to achieve it faster, say in 2 months, you need to do at least 100 DMs per day. 110 DMs per day. Now, how long will that take? If you're taking 10 minutes per message, obviously that's going to take you way too long. So let's drop that down to 5. That's going to take you 9 hours of outreach per day. If you have an automated system, then that could obviously get that done faster as well. But obviously you're more likely to have to send a higher quantity to get the same quantity of results. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Yeah, that is pretty much everything. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I need to tell you about the spreadsheet. No, nothing comes to mind. So yeah, at the bottom I do have a donation link. So if you get some value, if you got more value than the price you pay for the scores, then you can click the link and send a donation my way. And I'll use that to actually get a mic instead of using my iPhone microphone, and to fix my webcam because my webcam is broken. So yeah, that's all for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Remember, the reason I created this spreadsheet is so that you don't spend time procrastinating running the numbers. So now you've got the numbers at your fingertips. You know exactly what you need to do. Get on with outreach and get those clients signed.